We're going to do the Tingana dance. We're going to do the Tingana dance. Look at what we found. Tingana, the Duke of Djuma. Well, we set out looking for him. He had been in Buffelshoek in the north. Herbie had tracks of him coming in south. We picked Drakensberg Road, and well, we have been fortunate. Rexon, the other gentleman who works at Vuyatela, was in the area, and he happened to come across him. So we were in the right area at the right time. But he is on a very particular route. I know this route quite well. I've followed him along this before. I'm going to reverse back, keep up with him. Exactly where I spoke about Tundi 5 minutes ago, or so, when I started rambling. Oh, that might have been at the beginning of the drive. This is where Tingana is now, exactly on that spot. So he's walking straight down this Drakensberg Road. This is a road over here called Leadwood, which I've followed him on a number of times. And what he did those last couple times, let's just have a look. You're right there, Gert. What he did that two times that I followed him, is he crossed into Chitwa, because this pathway will take straight to Chitwa. But he crossed just onto the other side of Chitwa, looked down towards the dam, sat down by the pan, and just started calling to the world. And then he stood up and walked parallel road and then went into Torchwood. So it was very special to have spent time with him then. That when he was just coming back, he was still limping, he wasn't looking in good form, but he was giving it everything in with regards to the territorial calling. And well, now he is on another walk. This is what they will do regularly after rainfall, to remark and rescent mark the areas that they have claimed to be theirs, and investigate the presence of new females, investigate the occurrence of... What have you spotted there, boy? You see the body language change. I can't see what he's seen, but he's running after something. Let's go and have a look. Now he is looking to maybe catch some food, but most certainly, Emma, if you'd like to invite some more viewers on board, we don't know where this could go. He could most certainly catch this nyala. I haven't seen the nyala. He saw something very camouflaged. Rexon spotted it, told me there's a nyala there. Oh, and there's... Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Djuma Private Game Reserve in the Sabc Sands, South Africa. We've just framed up a hyena for you. It is not what we're in the sighting for. We have got a big male leopard just here in front of us by the name of Tingana. He is the Duke of Djuma, and he has spotted what we believe to be a frail-looking nyala somewhere hidden there in the thickets. Anything could happen right now. Please feel free to send any comments and questions you might have through to hashtag Safari Live, or drop them in on the YouTube chat stream below. We'd love to, or in the comment section below, I mean. We'd love to hear from you. Look at his intention. This is the reigning Duke, the reigning dominant leopard of this area. He's been up in the north. After some rainfall, he is now finding the need to move through his territory and demarcate through scent marking. The rainfall has washed away the scent that he's laid down, but along these long wanderings, he gets quite hungry. I'm not going to move. We are in the sighting with other vehicles, but I don't want to disturb him or the nyala. Each individual needs to have their fair chance, and well, leopards, as we think, are very successful, but the camouflage, stealth and alertness of the antelope animals is very, very good, and well, they often avoid being caught when they're on their own. Sometimes it's quite tricky. Romit, you want to know how far away it is? I can't quite see it at the moment. There's a vehicle behind us that had in fact seen it. We're just having a look through the thickets now. I'm going to look with my binoculars because I'm in a slightly different position to Gert on the back. Hyena seems to have lost sight of where Tingana is, but could definitely smell that he's here. So he's watching the movements of the hyena, He'll quite often just growl and lay flat if a hyena comes close. A big male leopard like Tingana has got a reputation, and hyenas quite often just stay clear. Sure, it is all about camouflage out here, and this is the leopard's paradise. This is exactly where they belong. You'll see he's going to walk just around in front of us here, and well, we're going to be hard pressed trying to keep up with him if he keeps walking on this route. Heard some hyenas cackling there. Not sure what happened, but Tingana had a little look. Well, he's going to keep on wondering. We're going to follow him, but what a marvelous afternoon. Not sure, Bonnie, when the last time he ate. Hopefully we'll get him eating now. I haven't seen him in months. His belly is looking very empty, and I'm sure he is hungry. He's not moving very fast on the territorial sort of movements that they do have, and I haven't heard him call. Demarcating quietly so as to also snatch a meal along the way. Well, folks, we are going to still be live for the next, I think, hour or so, maybe 45 minutes. Google loves to see you there, but please feel free to enjoy your afternoon further, and we'll chat to you soon. Thanks for your comments and questions, and goodbye. Complaints from my lapel mic there. I think we are back on track now. We're going to have to see if we can keep up with the Duke moving through the thickets here. The hyena is coming towards me on the right here. He's trying to follow Tingana because, oh, there's two hyena. They are very keen to snatch whatever he might catch because, well, leopards out here are far more efficient in the way of hunting than we reckon the hyena are. There's another one right here. That is coming right up to me. Listen, I don't smell like a leopard, do I? No, I don't. You smell foul. I just got a whiff of her. She's got the scent of him now. She's going to try to find him. We followed two hyena this morning, and we realized that we followed them for a long way, and they actually went away from Hyena. Sydney found Hyena pretty much where we started following the hyena. So they obviously found him, realized he didn't have any food. Sorry about my head there. I'm having some difficulties with my microphone. And realized he didn't have any food, and then, well, decided to just go off in the other direction. These two, though, are trying to ascertain whether the Duke, who they've picked up on his smell, whether he has got some food for them to snatch. Everyone's saying that they look very curious. Well, there's nothing more curious than a spotted hyena. And it's really interesting being back. There we go. Get a two-shot here. Tingana's just through the back, just disappearing behind there. And, well, the hyenas are going to follow him and probably really give him a hard time. They won't really do too much towards him. If he's got some meat, they might try and snatch it off him, but as I was saying, Tingana develops a very nice sort of repertoire with these hyena, a reputation that they very well know, and they'll probably leave him alone even if he's got a kill on the ground. But if there's two of them, three of them, it might be a different story. One, definitely leave him alone. They can't afford to combat the battle-scarred veteran, and well, he can't really afford to battle with them, but just through sort of aggressive response or growling quite often can get away. Okay, well, this is not going to be ideal. Rexon, Steve? Okay, he's got him. Copy, thank you. So patience pays off. Follow the animals, follow the hyena, follow Rexon, and it will be okay. Okay, oh, there he is, he's right there. I'm going to stay right where I am because the Nyala are right here, the same Nyala we've been looking at, and they have no idea. So folks, just bear with me, stay with us here. The Duke, with his regal stare and his twitchy tail, is looking directly at them, and he's trying to figure out, do I want the baby? Are any of them weak? Which one of them will be easier to catch? Or, oh, now I'm going to lie down. Well, there we go. Maybe he can't see them. That is incredible. He's not far away from these Nyala, and seemingly, because of their camouflage and their ability to stand still, he has lost sight of them. He knows that they're here. He probably heard them, the little footfalls, the drop of some dung on the ground. But he's looking around as if he has lost them all together. If he comes straight down this game path, because where we've got him here, just down in front of him, there's a game path that runs straight towards me. And this was the path I was hoping to access. And when I came around onto the road, when Rex told me to come around onto the road behind us on Leadwood, this is most likely the path that he would have followed straight through onto the next road. It's ease of access. Leopards, lions, rhinos, elephants often will walk along pathways. Most animals, in fact, because it's very easy to do so. If you've ever driven a vehicle on the main road, it's very easy. Now take the same vehicle and drive it straight into the bushes. Well, it is not as easy to drive through the bushes than it is to stick to a well-worn path. And when you are a hunting leopard, or a leopard that is trying to cover as much ground as possible in a territorial display, you want it to be as easy as possible, or as quiet as possible if you are stalking. And walking along a path makes it quite easy to walk quietly. Pugmaker, I can't smell him. Oh, you're asking if he can smell them. The wind direction is blowing pretty much towards him. So it's not very strong. It's a very gentle wind, but I have no doubt he moved to where he is now because of this family that he's seeing, or he saw. Maybe these are individuals that were spotted not so long ago that I didn't even see. Maybe the hyena caused them to run a little bit, but they have all got their backs to him. I'm not going to show them to you at the moment because I don't want to make any noise. I want all of this to play out as it shall naturally. He seemed to be putting some tension directly towards one of the animals that has now moved a little bit. You see the intention on the body. If he picks a target, you'll see him start to crouch low and move quite quickly. He might be waiting for this group to split up only slightly. Can you see them, Gert? A bit tricky, hey? There they are. That's what he's looking through. He's looking through a thicket like that. So that is why it is hard for animals to be seen out here when you are as camouflaged as a Nyala. They are there. The Duke knows they're somewhere nearby. Sorry about my head again. But there he is. Sorry for any tech difficulties, but Tingana has yawned for you all. You're back with us, and we are with the Duke. He is walking along those prominent game paths, and, well, keep going that way, sir. You're going to walk straight towards us. What a gem. What a gentleman. The Nyala's all moved off, and he walked right past where they'd been standing without even a cursory glance. It just goes to show that leopards won't expend energy when animals are in groups unless the advantages are on their side, mainly being it quite dark or if the wind is blowing. If the wind is blowing, it makes it much easier for them to stalk closer. But he's a very, very well experienced cat, and so he knows that trying to sneak up on a herd is much harder than an individual on its own, and very opportunistic. They will take and fight their battles when they need to, and run when they need to. So Coast-Sider, you say his tongue is hanging out. Well, his bottom jaw, because of that dewlap, is just so heavy and just hanging down low, isn't it? And, well, he's also quite warm. It's still not cold. And he's been walking for quite some time today. For judging by the distance the tracks have covered, he has walked all the way from Buffelshoek all the way down. It's not an enormous distance, but for a leopard with fur covering its body, walking in the heat of the day, it is quite something. And, well, he's walking on exactly the same pathway that I've had him on before. we're going to try and keep up with him, but first he's going to stop and give us a very regal pose. He is not walking in a very territorial sort of fashion. He's obviously very interested in getting something to snack on. The rain was 2-3 days ago now, and he's probably done a lot of scent marking, and well, this time of year it's very hot, and he maybe assumes there's going to be more rain again. Ahoy, Bacon! What soggy skin! Well, he does seem to have a fair bit of soggy skin there around his chest and his throat area, but the dewlap on the neck is part and parcel of what happens with male leopards as they get bigger. It adds to their strength and to their size, and I'm going to move because I've got him behind a little stick. Ah, that is how you do it, Tingana. You know how to pose like the best of them, don't you, boy? Yes, he does. He is the man of the hour. Now, these are the kind of shots that on safari, if you can get your guests into these positions with a leopard sitting on a termite mound, well, it is first prize. So many of the leopard sightings I've had in my life before coming to the Sabc Sands are just the faintest glimmer of a cat disappearing through the thickets, or looking at a leopard through the thickets with binoculars as it stares back at you from a vehicle, of course. And so the photography of leopards in the Sabc Sands is world renowned, and if you want to capture leopards on camera and you want to show and film and frame these beautiful photos to put on your mantelpiece, well, these are the areas to come to. Obviously there are other reserves as well, but Sabc Sands is world class when it comes to leopards. And well, isn't he a beautiful boy? Kimberly, indeed. I think I said that before already. He is very regal, but the skin is loose around sort of the chest area. I'm sure he's lost a little bit of weight in his age. He's still a big leopard, but he definitely isn't as bulky as he once was. As with everything, as we get older, we lose a little bit of condition, but he's still looking in fine form. And well, we're probably going to experience a little bit of a sawing motion from him a little bit. Those of you who don't know what sawing is, I'm not talking about the actual cutting of wood, but it's the territorial call of a male or female leopard. It sounds like a plank of wood being chopped with a bow saw. But for now, we're going to try and follow him as he continues to head on south. A moment. Listening as he goes. Listening as he goes. The beautiful backside of the leopard. This is what I saw of Hassan the other day on foot, was just his rear end as he moved away from us. Easily to identify a male leopard by the size of that neck. It's not, yes, Sam, it's not a bad rear end at all. A leopard, male or female, the females have got very delicate. Ooh, what's he done? He's stopped like a pointer dog, a bloodhound. Females have got very delicate and sort of elegant necks in most species, leopard species, of course. And the males have got this big, thick-set dewlap. Obviously, when they're younger, they don't have it, but they're still a lot more thick-set than the females. Obviously, size. Yes, everyone is saying he is in need of a meal. Well, I don't know if anybody knows when last he ate. Need to chat to the Buffelshoek guys, because he's been up north for the last couple of days. So I wonder if he has had a little snack. Oh, that's what he looked at. There was a waterbuck straight across over there that looked at him. And those of you who were with me a few months ago, I don't even know how many months ago, he was on this exact same path, and he spotted probably this exact same big male waterbuck, and he gave him one cursory look, and then he kept walking. And waterbuck is way out of his weight class. A baby waterbuck, or a small female, most certainly. I've seen a male leopard with a couple of sort of sub-adult waterbucks up a tree. That was incredible to see. I've never seen Tingana with a waterbuck. I've seen Tundi with a couple babies. But before we lose him, let's keep up. I don't think he's going to stalk up to that waterbuck. That's going to be silly. Silly buggers. He's just on a nice Sunday stroll. Well, most certainly not. Oh, look at him. He's even licking it. Oh, look at that. There's the spray. Here it comes. Oh, up it goes onto the branch. So I'm going to ask Gert afterwards to go up to that little wet spot and give it a lick and tell us what it tastes like. Gert? He's just smiling at the back there. He says, why not? You only live once. You only live once. And, well, how many of you can say you've tasted leopard urine before? I certainly can't. I certainly can't. Always, well, I eat a lot of leaves, so maybe one of these days, or maybe I've already eaten some, but I've never tasted any popcorny sort of taste. Just it smells like popcorn. For what purpose? For what reason it smells like popcorn? It's beyond me to understand. I'm just going to stop here. The Duke is walking across the frame. That's exactly what we've seen him do 1,000 times in the past. We are not far now from our southern boundary with Lower Gowrie and Chitwa Chitwa. But I'm just going to move one more time to get on the other side of him because, well, he's going to walk behind the bush before the closing of the show, and that's just not how we want it, Tingana. We want you to stop, sit on this lovely branch for us, and give all the viewers a wonderful final couple of screenshots. There we go. This will be the final display of the Duke as he walks only meters away from the front of our vehicle. He clearly seems to be hungry. What a marvelous achievement this afternoon. We saw some interesting birds. We found the Duke. David got rained on. Sydney is out and having a ball. Thank you everyone for your questions, comments. We'll see you again tomorrow morning bright and early. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Good evening, South Africa, and welcome back after all the time you have spent away from us. We have missed you thoroughly while you've been enjoying the cricket. Well, my name is Steve, and I'm joined by Gert on camera. And, well, what can I say? We are live and interactive. We'd like to hear from you. We are coming from two locations, one in the Masai Mara in Kenya, where it is currently dark, and two in the Western Kruger National. To hashtag Safari Live. We'd love to interact and see exactly what's going on. The weather is a very nice 23 degrees Celsius. It's overcast. It is the wet season, and there's been lots of last few episodes.
In spring, Safari Live arrived on South African television for the very first time. We introduced you to our famous predator characters, and we interacted with you direct from the wilderness. In the Masai Mara, we met the fledgling Awino Pride, two lionesses building a legacy with their 3 cubs. Kinky Tail and the Sausage Tree Pride with their adorable new youngsters. And Waffles, grizzled old matriarch of the North Clan, and a possible plot to overthrow her. Down in the Western Kruger, the growing Djuma clan finding comfort and security at the den. The Nkuhuma Pride stalking the woodlands. And of course, the captivating royal leopard lineage of Djuma. The old Duke, Tingana, and his son, the social little chief, Hosana. This is Safari Live.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. My name is Patrick. Joining me on camera, we have Davasito. And remember, this is 100% live, 100% interactive. So send in those questions using that hashtag Safari Live. Well, I'm joined by a rather large herd of impala right now. It's a mixed herd of males and females. And we have 2 males fighting just here to the right. Oh, 2. We've got 2 sets of males. It's fight night out here. 3 sets of males fighting. Now, this is very strange behaviour to see. Usually, we only see fighting when females are coming into estrus. for their breeding season, or around when they start to lay their lambs as well. And unfortunately, well, fortunately, I'm not sure why they are fighting right now. Now, earlier on, I did check the hyena den, and unfortunately, there wasn't any activity, but I will be going back to check it. But in the meantime, let's go see where earlier in the year, Tristan did have some hyenas and a leopard.
Welcome to South Africa. It is an epic start to our afternoon, to our evening, should I say. As you can see, there's a tug of war between a hyena and a leopard. So what's happened here is a female leopard killed a nyala, and her and her cub have been feeding during the afternoon. But not more than 150 meters away was two male leopards that also had a kill. And one of the male leopards has run in here with the hyena, and they've stolen this kill. And they are now having a tug of war between the two of them. This is absolutely insane. Now, I wonder if the female's going to come back this way, or are we going to see maybe the other male also arriving here, because the other male is a much bigger male than this one. This young male is called Hyena, and the bigger male is Tingana, who's his dad, and he might arrive. With the noise of these two feeding and fighting, you might find that that other male comes in. But look at how the hyena is still eating, even though the leopard is trying to drag it away from it. And the hyena is going to use all of its power and strength to be able to try and kind of break this open and pull this and try and get as much out of this carcass as possible. Now, it really is quite amazing to see these two predators going at a tug of war between them. Now, the male leopard is going to try and grab as much as he can and try and maybe get it up into a tree. So even if it's a chunk or a piece of it, he's going to try and get as much as he can up there, or he's going to sit and just feed right next to this hyena. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Yes, that was a very strange sighting. It's very odd to see two predators around a kill being civil, let alone sharing the kill. Very strange stuff. So we are still here with the impalas, and they're still locking horns. Those two pairs that were fighting earlier, still going at it. And as I was saying, it is strange behaviour for this time of year. So most of the females have dropped their lambs. So the breeding season has officially finished now. And so the males should be settling down, but there has been a lot of fighting.
Nine beautiful species of antelope occur here at Djuma. Late November is the birthing season. We marvel at wobbly wildebeest calves, fluffy duiker lambs hiding in the thick bush, and the playful antics of the impala lambs. All of these youngsters are able to stand within half an hour of birth and run very soon after that. They must be able to escape from the lions, leopards, wild dogs and hyenas that stalk these wild woodlands. But before a male antelope has the privilege of fatherhood, he must fight. Astoundingly, these savage battles seldom end in death. These graceful yet powerful herbivores are a constant source of fascination. The Mara River is the artery that brings life to this African ecosystem. Thousands of animals live in its waters, from lazy herbivores to voracious predators. Thirsty animals must visit the treacherous banks. Travelers brave the dangers lurking beneath the muddy surface. Hundreds of bird species forage on the shores and in the depths. For much of the year, the residents of the Mara enjoy the bounty of the river, many waiting patiently for the few months when more than 1 million animals come to feast on the grass of the plains. But the grass is green on both sides, and it is a temptation that overcomes even the deepest fears. This is feasting time for the greatest of the world's reptiles. But it's not only the crocodiles that take a toll on the herds. Panic, currents, and cascading rapids account for an astonishing number of deaths each year. The Mara River is a paradox, providing both life and death.
This individual here is Waffles, the queen of the North clan, the one that fought her way up from one of the lowest positions in the hierarchy to the top of the pile. You can see that she wears a collar. That is because these hyenas have been researched for over 30 years, and that's just one way of keeping track and learning more about these amazing and misunderstood animals. There's something that we have to explain from the very beginning, and that is the way in which these animals are named, because there is actually method to the madness. A hyena clan is made up of females, their sons, their daughters, their grandchildren, and different females within that line, and each family fits into a different slot in the hierarchy. So, as a result, the females are actually named, or the offspring of the females are named on a theme. So Waffles' theme is types of syrup. She has her son Ferg, she has her son Hershey, and then she had one daughter called Log Cabin. Now, Log Cabin is dead, unfortunately. What have you guys seen? Hold on one second. We'll get back to this explanation. Definitely some signs of interest and excitement. Believe it or not, the biggest threat to them right now is lions moving in to steal their kill. Look, they're dashing off, chasing an individual off into the east, into the sunrise. I don't know who that was, and I don't know why that happened, but they're right on the fringes of their territory, so it could actually have been a hyena from a neighboring clan being very, very brave. But as we were saying, typically it is lions that steal from hyenas rather than the other way around. So Waffles has a theme. Her daughter is dead, but her granddaughter Soup is still alive. We're going to run the gauntlet with the hyena clan, and in particular with Waffles and her granddaughter Soup. And so far, for an aging matriarch, I think you'll agree, she's doing pretty well for herself.
Exciting, everyone. So I was just making my way up to the dam, and would you know it, I have ran into some heavy traffic, and I am talking heavy. Largest land mammal in the world heavy. They came out right in front of us, very close to the car. Awesome to have a sighting like this. And we can see them scratching through the trees here. And now, I am currently on infrared, but we also have another helper here that might make us see these elephants a little bit better. It is the FLIR, and it is from thermal signatures. So we'll be able to see the heat signatures that these elephants are giving off, and we'll get a nice view of them here through the bushes. And actually, this is going to serve my own personal curiosity pretty well as well, because I have read that elephants, well, they have a number of mechanisms of cooling themselves down, but apparently they also have hot spots on their body, which are spots that are randomly located throughout their body where there's a high amount of heat exchange. So if we can see, it's a bit difficult right now, but if we can get a look at the solid elephant, I might just, are we clear behind us? Yeah, I'm just going to move back, everybody. Bear with me for 2 seconds. We're just going to have to switch to infrared while I move. Alright. Cogmaker, I love night safaris too. It's just, the cover of darkness makes everything that little bit more interesting. Makes sightings all the more special. And what have we got going on here? We've got a bit of bonding, I think. To my left, there's 2 elephants that we can see facing their rears to us, and just in front of them is a younger elephant, and they were all laying their trunks on it. I wonder what they're doing. What's going on here? It looks like a little bit of youngster play. Oh, how beautiful. Well, I think we are going to stick with these elephants and see what other mischief they get up to. So do not go anywhere. We're going to be coming back to you right after this short break. Welcome back, internet viewers. How special is this? These elephants have come just at the right time during TV, make me look a little bit better. These group is a real mischievous bunch. There's a lot of youngsters amongst them, and I've seen a lot of playing, a lot of pushing, a lot of, you know, real boisterous antics. What's this one doing here? Seems very interested in this branch. We can see it streaming from its temporal gland. Whoa! What is this? Yes. Wow. I'm really not sure what this one is doing right now. There's a lot going on right now. So we can see that group in the background is also acting up quite a bit as well. I'm really trying to piece together what is going on. The use of that stick, it seemed to be slapping it against its feet there. Its feet there. Really not sure what's going on here. And as I was saying, it is streaming from its temporal gland, and we will see that when a bull is on must, but we'll also see it just when they're excited or perhaps a bit anxious or any kind of overwhelming sort of emotion. They'll start streaming. It's going for the catapult there, the shot put. Wow. I really wonder what's gotten up this one's nose.
Elephants are an iconic keystone species of the wilderness, and they have captured our hearts and minds like no other. The herds are fascinating to observe and extremely important to the health of African ecosystems. Elephants live in complex matriarchal societies. Calves are raised and mentored by caring relatives and friends. Their playfulness and intelligence in so many ways mimics our own. More than 30 years of human activity has made the elephants of the Sabc sand relatively comfortable around our vehicles.
Oh my goodness, hello. That's very close.
We must always guard against becoming complacent in their awesome presence. That said, a respectful and sensitive approach to these intelligent creatures can result in moments of profound connection to the wilderness.
Well, welcome back live to us here in Djuma in South Africa, where we have got our own elephant that has just quenched his thirst down here by Chitwa watering hole. And well, aren't they magnificent creatures? The matriarchal society of elephants is very complex, very, very interesting, and we do spend lots of time watching and really enjoying the behavior of not just the adults, but especially the babies. This lone male elephant, after quenching his thirst, is now going to wander off into the wilderness to where we do not know. Maybe time to have a little bit of a munch, time to head off and eat some food. But my name is Steve, and well, we have had very interesting interaction up in the Mara with the matriarchs of Djuma, with the elephants. Jamie, who has spent so much time with the North Clan, who will be the next matriarch.
So typically a hyena clan doesn't stay together all day. They're usually separated into 1 or 2, maybe 3 individuals that go off during the day and rest, or perhaps wander around and have a jolly good sniff. But at a kill like this one, they all gather together in order to feed, obviously. And that's when you really start to see those social dynamics. The greeting ceremonies, the way in which they interact with each other are all important into determining who is higher in the hierarchy, who is dominant, who is submissive. Now that over there, with the sun shining gently onto the back of her neck, is the matriarch's granddaughter, Sabc.
Sabc is current heir to the North Clan matriarchy. If the aging Waffles were to die, Sabc and her cubs would be her only surviving female descendants. As the sun sets on Waffles' reign, the question of who will take her place arises. Matriarch is a coveted position. It gives priority at mealtime. The leader's cubs will dominate meat brought to the den. All females would like this privilege for their offspring. But while Sabc has the genetic claim to the matriarchy, her succession is by no means secure. Waffles took the position by force. She wasn't born to it. So any of the clan's females could be eyeing the position. Many of them have multiple generations of female relatives, strong armies to back a challenge. While Sabc's gang is small, with just 2 cubs and her aging grandmother. But Waffles has surprised us all, birthing 2 more cubs. Now her army is gaining strength, and the scene is set for an epic power play. Will hereditary right or aggressive might win the right to rule over the North Clan?
What a lovely diminutive animal. Look at that. And welcome to my vehicle. This is Sydney Fumunani Mikosi, and I am live from the western side of the Greater Kruger National Park, Sabc Juma Game Reserve. And please don't forget that this is an interactive live safari. We are highly available. You can send your questions and comments on Twitter, #SafariLive.
And I wonder where the other 2 leopards have run off to. I wonder if maybe Mom has gotten a fright and her and her cub have shot off and gone in a different direction. It wouldn't surprise me at all. They ran off sort of up north away from us, and so I wouldn't be surprised if the 2 of them are trying to get out of here as quick as possible. With hyenas and other leopards around, and Mom will always be very, very careful of her cub and will try and kind of separate them. But just listen to the noise of these guys actually feeding. The hyena's jaws are so powerful. It's just breaking open that rib cage and trying to get into where the flesh is. And you can see why they can make short work. But look at how close that leopard's face is to the hyena. Isn't this insane? This is absolutely ridiculous. Now, this is not something you're going to see every day. We've been absolutely spoiled by seeing this. I also haven't introduced myself. My name is Tristan, and on camera I've got Senzo this afternoon, and it's a very warm welcome, and I hope that you're going to enjoy this. It is an insane amount of action that is taking place. It's very, very, very cool to kind of see what's going on. Now, I am very surprised if the other big male doesn't arrive here. I'll be shocked if he doesn't, and the reason why is the other big male was finishing up the kill that he had, and so he'll hear this crunching, he'll hear this interaction, and I will just keep an eye and a sort of head on a swivel just in case he comes flying out of the bush and arrives at this particular carcass and we see him also interacting, because if he runs in, I wouldn't be surprised that the hyena and this leopard runs away immediately. Now I'm just listening because I can hear some alarm calls. I wonder if he's on his way. Hosana is not attacking the hyena is because the hyena is still dangerous to him. A bite from one of those, well, from a hyena's jaws could very well latch onto his paw and could break bones in his paw. Remember, their mouth structure is hugely powerful. I mean, you can see how this hyena is ripping into this carcass and taking off big chunks and breaking bone, and that means that Hosana has got to be a bit careful of that. He doesn't want to get himself injured. Much easier for him to be able to find another meal than it is to be able to try and interact with something like a hyena. So he's really got to be very careful about that, and that's why he's just going to try and kind of feed next to it. And what's eventually going to happen is that hyena is going to get full and might just leave a piece, or they're going to have a tug of war and the carcass is going to break, and Hosana is going to end up with one section and the hyena is going to end up with the other section. But they're both in a race to try and eat as much as possible. Unfortunately for Hosana, hyena's got a better ability to be able to just swallow massive chunks of meat. But this is insane. It's amazing how quickly a hyena goes through a carcass. It astounds me when they do this. Look at that. They are almost nose to nose. Tingana's coming now. The big male's here. So the big male leopard has also come in. Here we go. Now this is going to be very... There we go. You see now, look. There we go. He definitely is going to be the boss. You can see how Hosana ran away straight away. The hyena's gone, and now look at him taking it up. Now the hyena's coming back as well. He's going to try and get it. This is just insane. Now the hyena's grabbed the baby Nyala that was inside the mother. There goes the hyena. Hosana unfortunately has lost out, but Tingana has got it up in a tree. Here's Tandi. Now there's the third leopard. Here comes Tandi as well. So there's the mother. She's also here. So we've got the mother, we've got Hosana coming in. 3 leopards in the same place. Look at this. This is insane.
A few months ago, the very fabric of the Djuma clan was nearly shredded by an Avoca male bent on theft and an ancient vengeance pact. Corky, the matriarch, barely escaped with her life. It was a devastating attack on the heart and home of the clan. She vanished for days. We didn't know if she'd succumbed to her injuries, and we feared a slow death from starvation for her new cub. Finally, however, she returned, on edge and in need of a meal. But reunited with her hungry little son. The gaping, seeping wound is severe. But the matriarch of the Djuma clan is stoic and resilient. Corky had survived a devastating attack from her most mortal enemy, unbowed as mother and matriarch.
Wow, that went from 0 to 100 in about 5 seconds. All of a sudden, we were sitting here and there was no leopards on this carcass. There was a little cub that was just watching from further away, about a year old, who wasn't kind of doing anything. And all of a sudden, hyena first, then Hosana, then Tingana, and now mom is also running in the form of Tandi. This is just insane. Now, for those of you who've never kind of joined us before and watching this chaos unfold, I can assure you this is not normal, and I can assure you that this is a very interesting situation. What we actually have is a leopard kind of family tree here. So the leopard right in the top of the tree, he's the big guy in this area and the dominant male. He's called Tingana. And he is quite an old male. He's about 12 years old, and he is the father of the leopard that is below him, called Hosana, who is a male that is about 2 years and 8 months and is still growing and still finding his feet. At the moment, Dad is very tolerant of him, but is still kind of, figuring things out. Now, the other leopard, which is the female, her name is Tandi, and she's the older sister of Hosana. So she's about 12 years old, much the same age as Tingana, and they have the same mother, Hosana and Tandi, and Tingana has fathered Tandi's cub as well as Hosana. So it's a very complicated mix. It's all kind of linked together, and they've all kind of sort of joined in this one area, which is just insane. Wow. Giselle, you're saying you're trying to find one word for the sighting, but it's too difficult. I know, it's just absolute pandemonium is what I would probably say for one word. It's insane to see what has just taken place. These are not things you get to see every single day. You'll go a long time in life going through to the bush and visiting and being a guide before you'll see a sighting like what we've just witnessed.
Well, welcome back live, everybody. What a fantastic evening we've had. But with all of the activity of the hyena and leopard saga that is plaguing Djuma these days, it has been an incredible couple of weeks. And, well, that is the way it goes. And I have no doubt there will be plenty more interaction as the weeks unfold in front of us. But it is the wet season. There are lots of leaves on the trees, but lots of baby animals trying to make their way through to adulthood. And, well, the leopard and hyena drama on Djuma is going to continue, and up in the Mara, the lions and the cats and the hyena up there are going to continue to marvel us with all the wonders of that which is the special nature of the wilderness in Africa. And all we can do is bring it to TV screens and show you each week how it unfolds. But for now, we are just watching a skyline that is slowly fading into darkness. It is dark now in South Africa officially, and we will be seeing you again next week with another action-packed week of interesting characters that you are slowly becoming to love. And we will see you next week. Thank you to all of you for your questions, comments, to all the team in the Mara down here in Djuma. We will see you all next week. Good night and have a good evening.